Hello, I'm State Representative Cheryl Grossman from the 23rd House District. Welcome to Ohio in Focus.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of Ohio in Focus, a program that brings state government to you. I'm your host, Brad Miller. We have with us today State Representative Cheryl Grossman, who serves the 23rd House District, including Grove City, Hilliard, parts of Dublin, and other western portions of Franklin County. Representative, welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much.
So, to begin, could you give us some background of yourself, your family, and kind of how you became involved in politics?
Be happy to. I'm a lifelong resident of the district, and my husband and I just celebrated 41 years of marriage this past December, and we're the proud parents of two sons, one who remains in Ohio, one who has left Ohio, unfortunately. As far as my involvement, was very involved with both of our sons as they grew up through the schools, different associations, Children's Hospital, and ran for council member at large in 1994. Was really pleased to have the support of my fellow council members who elected me president upon my serving in that position. Served there for 2 years and then served as mayor of Grove City for 12 years. And during that time we added 10,000 jobs to the city, and we rolled back inside millage 12 out of 15 years. So I know how important it is for us to drive the economic development throughout Ohio.
So 12 years as mayor, certainly a good preparation for the role you're currently in now. How did that experience prepare you for this role?
You know, it's been a great learning opportunity for me. I just left my Rotary meeting. I'm a founding member of the Grove City Rotary, and I was with the police chief and the assistant fire chief. And sharing with them my experiences as mayor has been so important to me as I serve now in the Ohio House, as we deal with a very diverse topics on a daily basis. I lean heavily on that background as mayor, know local government and certainly how we want it to work, and also understand how all those parts and pieces need to come together.
So one of your roles in the House is you currently serve as the Assistant Majority Whip. Could you explain kind of what that job is and what it entails?
Be happy to. As Assistant Majority Whip, I'm responsible for communicating with our members on issues they may have, questions, and then as we review legislation, I contact half of the members to get their input on bills that they are supportive of, still questions that they may have, and try to expedite that communication process between leadership and our House members.
So you obviously have a lot of lifelong resident of Grove City, so you know the area well, and you know Western Franklin County very well. Ohio has 99 House districts, each district with different people and needs and interests. What would you say is the most important issue facing your district right now?
Without question, not only my district, but the state, and that's economic development, and it's how we put people back to work. Really pleased with the recent numbers as far as unemployment and how that continues to decrease on those percentages. But we need to be very competitive as we look outside the borders of Ohio to make sure that we have the very best package available for companies to decide to locate in Ohio as well as to remain in Ohio.
So if you have to contact and be in touch with all the members about all the legislation, you kind of have to have a good sense of everything that's going on in the House. You have been very active, and the House has been busy in the past year and will continue to be busy this year. Would you like to go into some of the legislation that you're currently working on?
Certainly be happy to. As we talk about economic development, I have a bill for site certification, and it replaces the Job Ready site legislation that was approved. I think that was in the Taft administration. The grants available to fund that expire in April of this year. And I want to make sure that we can reach out to communities across the state to have a very instant analysis of properties that they have available for development for commercial, industrial, that will bring jobs to Ohio. And this has gotten great bipartisan support. I am anticipating it being voted out of committee very shortly, and look forward to how we can embrace yet another segment of the businesses that are evaluating where they want to locate and do sort of a one-stop shop in that regard.
And that you're referring to House Bill 436, which creates the Site Ohio certification program. When we use the term applicants, people who are applying for this, are we talking just businesses, or these individuals, or who all are we talking about?
We're talking about how we can assist the different communities that are trying to bring development to their areas, to have, again, this one-stop shop that when companies contact the state or different regions of the state, they want to know about rail spurs, about interstate, about utilities. We're going to have that available for them in a very timely manner. Right now, that's really not being done as efficiently as we could. And I think that this is going to be a great enhancement on us competing with other states.
So you mentioned the grants, and this is changing something that was put in place in the Taft administration, so quite a while ago. If a project is deemed eligible, what does that mean, and what happens next?
It will be included in a list that will be maintained by the state, and then as different site selectors and companies are contacting Ohio on we need 50 acres with A, B, C, and D, we will readily have that information available that should assist with that competition with the other states. So many times right now, company contacts the state, and it may be a little bit of time before they're able to assemble that information, get it back to the company, and then we lose maybe that opportunity to have them seriously consider Ohio. So I think this is going to be a great tool for us to use in Ohio.
Certainly economic development is something everyone can get behind in these times for sure. Another bill you're working on is House Bill 453, which deals with cosmetology licensing. Can you tell us something about that?
You know, when we sent out the sponsor form on that, I think a lot of people were thinking, oh, you got to be kidding. Well, this it's been almost 10 years since this section of the code has been reviewed and revised, and I have worked with the Board of Cosmetology for the last probably 18 months on this. It is amazing to me on the challenges that have been created with people that aren't always legally licensed in this category, and then there's an element of human trafficking involved with what's going on with some of the cosmetology and nail techs. And then as you talk about nail technicians, there's been horrible situations of people that are not properly licensed, may have a falsified license, and not knowing the rules as far as health regulations. And the MRSA infection has been a huge problem that people have lost portions of their legs. And we really need to tighten this up and be responsive to the people of Ohio. And this bill will do that.
It's probably not something that a lot of people think about,
Exactly.
cosmetology. Certainly I did not, but it says the cosmetology laws in Ohio were not changed since 2003. So this is more updating them or making broad changes, sweeping changes to them?
Well, updating, but also sweeping changes. When you have people that are illegally obtaining license with this particular category that don't know health and sanitation rules, it's up to us to do all that we can to protect the people. And I think as we continue with testimony in the House and in the Senate on this, our members will be absolutely appalled at some of the problems that have been created in the recent past.
Another bill could kind of be similar to that one, House Bill 417. It requires healthcare entities to notify patients if the entity is moving or being terminated. Is that correct?
If physicians are moving or being terminated, and it's a very competitive world in healthcare right now, and a lot of times there's no compete clauses that physicians sign, and if they terminate their employment with a large network or hospital, to this point in time, there has been no way for those physicians to contact their patients, let them know where they are. And I refer to this as the continuity of care on behalf of patients across the state of Ohio. I think all of us have the right, once you establish that rapport and that relationship with your physician, if they suddenly leave the face of the earth, it's very troubling. And I think in particular of older patients that have established a strong rapport and trust with those physicians. Some patients have shown up at offices and there's been a note on the door that says office closed. It's not what we should be about on behalf of the people that we represent.
So this is just giving patients contact information or ways in which they can contact someone else? Is that?
This bill will provide for either the hospital, the network health agency, or the physician to be able to contact the patients and give them where they will now be located. And there was, again, several situations brought to my attention when patients have had appointments for weeks. They show up and there's no one in that office, and that's just a very unsettling feeling for anyone to go through.
You also are serving currently on the Ohio Housing Study Committee. As I understand, you were selected for this committee by the Speaker.
Yes, I included an amendment in House Bill 153, which was the budget bill, and it was the oversight committee for the Ohio Housing Finance Authority. They have provided more than $9 billion in tax credits since its inception. And when we're talking about taxpayer dollars and that amount of money, want to make sure that we're doing all that we can to be certain that it is being efficiently, consistently, and fairly provided throughout the state that our residents benefit from. And this is senior housing, it's Section 8, and multi-housing. And it's a real important aspect when you think about the difficulties a lot of people are going through right now in their lives, how important it is for them to have housing. And again, it's just to make sure that it's being done efficiently. In conjunction with that, the state auditor, Dave Yost, his office is doing a performance audit on the Ohio Housing Finance Authority. So those two should coincide very well.
Every state legislator is assigned to a number of committees during each General Assembly, and sometimes they move around within that. Could you tell us, give us an update maybe of some of the bills that are currently going through committees right now?
Sure. I serve on state government. We just passed out the casino bill, which is House Bill 386, and that's in the Senate right now. And the people of Ohio spoke, and they approved casinos in Ohio. It's really important. We very proactively make sure that we anticipate what those needs are going to be, put rules in place that will benefit, again, not only the state, but make sure that it's run efficiently and properly. Finance, I serve on that, and we're getting ready for the mid-biennium review budget process, and I know these are going to be some really long days and very late hours till the middle of the night, and I am very encouraged on the financial status of Ohio as we continue to improve with decreasing unemployment and tax revenues increasing. It's really important. But you can't just rest on those laurels. You need to continually evaluate where we are, what we can be doing better, and that's going to be a real interesting process, again, halfway through the biennium budget to see where things are in that area.
Certainly, constituents, citizens of Ohio are encouraged to give their feedback and their ideas on pieces of legislation going through. As far as contacting you in your office, what is the best way for them to do that?
You know, I like to go with what's most convenient for our constituents, and I'm in the office usually 5 days a week, and phone calls, emails, letters are all appreciated, and we respond to every communication that we receive because if people take the time to contact us, it's really important for us to be able to respond and hopefully be helpful to them.
Representative, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you again on the next edition of Ohio in Focus, the program that brings state government to you. Thank you for joining us.